How big of a deal is this if, hypothetically, Uber and Lyft have to have employees and not contractors in California?
Well, it's a massive deal. I mean, if you look at AB5 in California, I think the worry is just the ripple effect that could have across the board for gig economy. And this is something that would add significant cost to the business model. It would really be a nightmare scenario, depending on what happens with, Prop 22. And that's why right now there's a fork in the road situation. And I think it's really a game of high stakes poker, what you're seeing with Lyft and Uber. That's why Lyft was going to pull the plug. This obviously is a nice relief, but it all comes down to what's going to happen in the courts as well as the ballot box in November in California.
So, if you look at the stocks for each of these, they're not terrible, but they've certainly underperformed. You could argue a lot of this is being priced in right now. How much do we have to worry about the fact that maybe other jurisdictions follow California's lead on this?
Well, that's the biggest fear because of the Pandora's box and the ripple effect. What happens to California? If you see that in New York, other states, as well as, even other countries when it comes to Uber. And that's why right now, this is sort of what I almost say is a Fort Sumner moment in terms of what happens for the gig economy. If you look at this, this could really be a business model threat, which is why that's why Lyft threatened to pull the plug, to put more pressure going to Prop 22 in November. Because this continues to be, for investors, along with obviously a COVID backdrop, AB5 continues to be the black cloud over the gig economy.
All right, that was a solid Civil War reference you just put out there with Fort Sumter. Let's talk a little bit then about what exactly it means to focus then on perhaps the other parts of the business that are working right now, especially during the pandemic, and that's food delivery. How key will that be in the business thesis for both these companies going forward?
Well, it's massive for Uber. I think that's about $10 to $12 per share in terms of what that's adding. Remember, if you go back, at one point that was an anchor on the ship. Now it's a huge asset. And of course, doubling down with Postmates. And we continue to see that as really key going forward, especially in this environment. Of course, Lyft is not in food delivery. But for Uber, that's a big part of the bull thesis here, in terms of what they've done, especially what we're seeing really a game-changing environment for overall food delivery across the board.